Wow, Bob. Wow. This is an example of the Gibson made-to-measure program, which means that you can call Gibson and say, hey, I'd like to give you a lot of money. In this case, $8,000 to make me a guitar of my choice. And Bob said, I really love the color and the grain of this wood. That's the guitar he asked for. This is the guitar he got 18 months later. They started building that guitar, apparently, and then they found out that he'd asked for a Floyd Rose and some different inlays and different tuners. Well, he got these tuners. The wiring was all wrong. I actually like this top a lot, but this is nothing like the waviness of that other top. And he wanted to get the same color, translucent blue. And I understand that like some different colors, different pictures, but I saw the guitar that he was referring to and it is not this color. I can understand where Bob would be like, what the fuck? Because of course he ordered this guitar at the beginning of COVID. Listen, manufacturers were going through a lot of stuff. In fact, he had asked for an ebony fretboard. And at one point after waiting 6 months, they said there was no ebony. Of course, there's videos out there like, oh, we have ebony. There wasn't ebony when they were trying to make this. There was so much lacquer underneath the truss rod cover that there was like space. And it actually had to be sent back to Gibson again to have them get rid of the extra lacquer. A bunch of really dumb stuff. It's like when you open, like I'm working on my bathroom at my house and we opened up the walls and we found chicken wire with the freaking cement and a paint roller. Must have been from 1962 in the freaking walls. My house is held together by staples. I gotta file down the lacquer so the truss rod cover can go on flush. Like, are you serious, Gibson? $8,000? And when Bob got it, he was lamenting because it was not what Bob asked for. But this is a pretty rad guitar. I have to tell you, I do like it. It has the crazy quilty quilt top, which is nice. I mean, I think this color blue eats it up a little bit more than the one that he showed, but it's a great blue. You got the 490 and 498 awesome sounding humbuckers, which we'll certainly go see for ourselves. You got these abalone kind of split diamond inlays, which I like. It's different, Bob. It's got the access contour and neck. So like clearly this guitar is made for speed. Not me or Bob. Sorry, Bob. I love you, but we don't need this contour. We're not that good. But I will tell you, because of all the tomfoolery from Gibson, Bob was able to get Sweetwater to give him $2,000 back, which basically brought this down to a normal Les Paul custom price, which again, none of us plebeians can afford. But if you are going to get a made-to-measure guitar and they're going to completely screw it up, at least get it for a price that you can, potentially play on reverb and get the exact amount for. And rarely do I talk about a case. It's kind of like when I got that PRS Nebula and it was like $10,000 and then it came with a gig bag. All right, you didn't spend $10,000, but like, I don't know. This kind of looks very poopy to me. It doesn't look very special. Like if I get a Wood Library PRS, the case is made of like rhino hide and like paisley silk on the inside. This is like, you don't even know if an Ibanez came in this thing. I don't know. Gibson. So I get my Blood Moon and I get an aluminum like cast case with like satin inlay on the inside with like doves that fly out every single time. But then I get an $8,000 made to measure and it comes with like literally a leftover 70s Ibanez case. Guys, get with it, bro. Look who's telling you this. Let's go check it out. See how she sounds. First and foremost, if it looks like I'm wearing the same clothes I was when I was doing the Ultima review, because Bob left me his guitars and I don't want them for that long because I'm scared because they're very, very, very valuable. In fact, I spent $8 grand on this guitar, took off all of my jewelry for you, Bob. So right now I am on the Colonial in my Kemper in the containment unit of Amp Souls. It's a made-to-measure Gibson. My buddy waited 18 months for it. See how it sounds. Now, the thing that's crazy is that this has the Peter Green wiring. My buddy sent it back, as I said earlier, to Gibson because they didn't give him the right wiring. I don't know. I know that if you pull, this gets you right back. lead pickup at all times. So whenever you get lost on this guitar, let's say we're over here, whatever that does. If I pull it back, it gets me right back here. So if you're, you need to go right back and you're confused because you don't know if that's out of phase, or put that back on, Bob. That's with this pull. Now, split coil, whatever, something like that. Back to a 5151. What's the point of having a Floyd Rose on your Les Paul if you don't put the bar on? So I gotta tell you, man, this is a beautiful guitar. I mean, it's wild. It's from the mind of Bob. But when I go, sounds great. Goes 490 to 498. I know exactly what I'm gonna bring to my Night Ranger tribute practice tonight.
Why don't you smash that subscribe button already?